Hey guys, Jason here. I want to make a quick video to share a recent and extremely cool experience I had meeting Chris Broderick. Chris Broderick was here in Tampa a couple weeks ago at an event hosted by and at Replay Guitar Exchange, which is like the music store in Tampa and the surrounding areas to go to. So, of course, I got the VIP tickets because I wanted to meet Chris in person and I wanted comfortable seating. Always a plus for me. So anyway, now if you don't know who Chris Broderick is, I'll kind of go back through a short clip of history here. So he's known for his work in Jag Panzer, the band Jag Panzer. They're kind of like a progressive melodic metal band. And I remember the time that I was introduced to Jag Panzer by my good friend Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. The time I was introduced to that band, their music, I was really getting into melodic metal, a lot of the Euro metal, that style. And of course I heard Jag Panzer and I was intrigued by the guitar playing, of course, and a lot of complex rhythms, a lot of very complex and technical solos, but with a lot of feeling and that sort of thing. I'm like, man, who is this dude? So from there I started following Chris's career as a musician. Now he also toured and played some with the band Nevermore with Jeff Loomis, another amazing guitar player in the metal community. And I think around 2008, Chris got a call from Dave Mustaine, maybe a little before that, and was asked to be the lead guitar player in Megadeth. And actually, me and my good friend Eddie saw Megadeth live in 2009 with Chris, and that was on their Endgame tour. Now in 2014, Chris branched off from Megadeth to start his own band, Act of Defiance. So that's a little history there for you. Now for the event, so we all walked into Replay Guitar Exchange there. I took my seat, of course, and just a bunch of metalheads, people wearing, Testament shirts and Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden. I had my Amon Amarth shirt on, so I'm thinking, I'm surrounded by guitars and cool metalheads. I'm right at home. It's a very cool feeling. And then the lights dim a little bit, and here comes Broderick on stage. He was introduced, big applause for him. And he starts out, I think he immediately started out with playing one of his songs from Act of Defiance. Of course, he was playing two backing tracks there. But just amazing, even with the backing tracks, just amazing to hear that live and to see him play live. So he had a nice mix of playing some of the songs from Act of Defiance and then kind of breaking down some of the solos. He was like, well, this is my favorite solo from this song, and here's the breakdown he would show us. He had a nice mixture of all of that, and also he engaged in the audience quite a bit. He would ask if there's any questions, and people had a ton of questions. I mean, the dude had some diehard fans there, myself being one of them. So we got to learn a lot about Chris's life, a lot about his background, and a lot about his perception of music in general, metal music and guitar playing. And we learned some interesting things. Like I knew he had a degree. I read this. He had a degree, or has a degree rather, in classical guitar performance. Which I don't know if you guys have ever tried to learn classical guitar. I know the basics. It is a very, very difficult style of music to play in guitar. Extremely difficult. But he's an accomplished classical player. But I didn't know that he also played piano and violin in his younger years as well. So not only is he a great guitar player, he's a full-fledged musician. And one of the things he talked about, he threw this out there a few times, he talked about music theory. Now, theory is not something I ever dove headfirst into. I started out playing by ear. I pick up my guitar and I just play whatever comes out. That's a blessing in some cases, but it can be a curse because I can pick up and just like the beginning of this video, I don't know what I played. I just started playing something. If you ask me to go figure it out and tab it out, I'll be like, oh, okay. So I'd have to get like that tablature software or something. And that's the curse part. But hearing him talk about theory and hearing him, tell us how he'll integrate that theory into what he's writing. He's like, well, if I'm playing this, but if I try this or that over here, it might come out like this. And he'll try it. And it's like, okay, it's almost like an equation, but there's a creative part of that as well. So I tell you that, say this, it really, even after 26, 27 years of playing guitar, that I've been doing, I'm really enticed to learn music theory, to dive a little bit deeper into that. So thank you, Chris, for that. So Chris also shared his gear, and I think he was using the Axe FX by Fractal Audio. He was actually using that on stage. And of course, he's endorsed by Jackson, so he was playing his signature Jackson guitar. Must be very cool to have a signature guitar. Chris is an extremely cool person, you know, extremely humble and down to earth. And I say that because he's a phenomenal guitar player. I mean, the dude can just rip. He's like the master at these complex sweep arpeggios. He does this, you know, 5-finger tapping stuff. It's just amazing stuff. But he's got a lot of feel behind his playing as well. So, and of course, that's why I've been following his music all these years. And of course, I got to meet him backstage after the show was over, and we chatted probably for less than a minute, and I got to take a couple cool pictures with him. But you know, it's just a great experience to meet Chris and see how humble and how down to earth the dude is. And of course, I'm definitely going to be looking to see Active Defiance live if they ever, or I should say, when they come, you know, near the Tampa Bay area here. So, anyway, guys, that's my experience. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and stay tuned for more videos. And don't forget, I just released my first Christmas single, Christmas Presents. Not like a present that you open, but like presents, like this is my presents. But check that out. It's just a Christmas metal instrumental track that I just released in November. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support for my music, and I'll see you on the next video. Keep it metal.